being held accountable for your actions, being held accountable for your thoughts, and being held accountable for your feelings. You need to hold yourself accountable for all three. That's the message today. Being held accountable for your actions. This message is intended for those with an open mind. So keep in mind that I want you to relax and understand the message for what it is. I need you to take this time to clear your mind and to focus on the content of the message and not the context of your understanding. A man's thoughts can be brought, but his feelings will never be for sale. Neither will his commitment or his loyalty. None of those will be for sale, but you can buy his thoughts. You can easily find out what a person is thinking by asking him or her the right questions at the right time. It's very simple. You can easily find out what a person is thinking by asking them the right questions. We live in a world where most people use an art of manipulation rather than being straightforward and direct. And we figure if we would manipulate a situation, we could get over on a person and then find out what they're thinking. Nowadays, we have to watch who is beating around the bushes. And we also have to learn how to read between the lines. If you don't know how to read between the lines, a person can get over on you anytime. Our outward appearance does not necessarily show our inward perception. And that's very important for us to know. Because if we look at a person from the outside, just because they look sharp, just because they appear to be sharp, just because they seem like they're sharp, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're sharp inside. A very intelligent young lady I was speaking to, she's one of my friends. Her name is Shaniqua Baker. We were sitting there talking or messaging each other, and she mentioned to me something very clever. She said, people hear what they want to hear. And that's true. People just hear what they want to hear. They don't care about nothing else. They just hear what they want to hear. But I added something else to what she was saying to me. I said, or they listen to what they want to understand. They don't worry about nothing else. They just understand what they want to listen to, not what you're saying and not what they're hearing. We should be held accountable for our actions instead of always blaming our actions for the thing we refuse to be responsible for. How can you feel comfortable in your own skin blaming your own actions for the things that you should be held accountable for? That sounds like a person that's running away from their own responsibility and you blame something else other than yourself for the things that you did or for the choices you made in your life. Instead of blaming the person who has grabbed a gun and shot somebody, nowadays we somehow blame the gun for being in the hands of a person that's being a shooter, saying that if they never had access to the gun, they would have never used it. That's absurd, but that's the kind of world we live in, especially here in America. Rather than holding the drunk driver accountable for their actions, nowadays these tricky lawyers hold the bar accountable for giving the driver too many drinks and blaming and shifting blame on the bar instead of shifting blame on the person that took the drinks. Don't blame a child nowadays for playing these silly little games on the internet, these challenge games. You know, these, like the one lady, she was challenged to drink some boiling hot water. Nah, don't blame her. You blame the person for creating the game. That's what you blame. Because no, she don't need to be held accountable for doing what she did. The person who actually challenged her should be held accountable for challenging her to play the game. How stupid does that sound? That sounds completely dumb. We have a very funny way of teaching our society how to be held accountable for our actions. In some of these high upper class neighborhoods, they blame the drug for being hooked on their child, but never the child for being strung out on the drugs. They can't do nothing wrong. They shift the blame. They're not held accountable for what they did, but the substance that they're on is what's going to be held accountable. Instead of holding a person accountable for watching a negative TV show and going out displaying these different types of behavior, we hold the TV show accountable for being on the air and allowing the kids to see what's on the television show. You understand what I'm trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that we have somehow ran away from being held accountable for our actions. And now that we can shift the blame on somebody else or something else, that makes the person that or the thing accountable for our actions. And we don't have to hold ourselves accountable for nothing. But is it right? It isn't right. When is it going to stop? Where will this end? It's not going to end nowhere. It's going to get worse and worse and worse. Don't blame the person for doing something stupid. Blame what's stupid for being on the person. How dumb does that sound? It sounds just about as dumb as that statement I just made. You know, we sometimes don't like to look at things for what it is, but when you look at things for what it is what it is. And there's no way of trying to correct what it is you're looking at. Life is not about looking at things that makes us happy or smile all the time. It's not. Some things you're going to see that's going to make you frown, some things are going to make you sad, but that's part of life. It doesn't have to agree with you, but it's part of life. Life is not about reading positive or uplifting comments all the time with some sort of good condescending note on the end of it. No, that's not what life is about. Life is about good and life is about bad. There's also going to be some bad times and there's going to be some good times. There's going to be some doom and gloom along with happiness and glory. You can't always expect to look at happiness and glory all your life when you turn on your television set or when you speak to somebody. There's sometimes you're going to hear gloom and gloom. But instead of going against the doom and gloom that you hear, if it's a warning for someone, you should go and warn someone instead of worrying about where the doom and gloom is coming from. You should just pass the message and that's it. If anyone feels a certain way by the prophecies that's written on my wall and you have concerns, you take your concerns to God. Take your concerns to God if you pray. But if you don't pray, don't worry about taking concerns to God. Just don't watch. Don't look. Don't read anything I got to write. And that's to everybody. Every single body that's listening. We should never allow anyone else's actions, thoughts, or behavior to interfere with our reactions, our responses, or personal feelings at all. We should stop throwing our displaced aggression, stress, and lack of understanding towards people. Instead of looking to judge, criticize, or talk about people, we should look within ourselves and deal with our own demons that we have inside our own lives. We intermingle, socialize, and pretend our life is put together when our life is up in shambles and it's upside down. Just because we possess a bachelor's, master's, or a PhD, it does not change who we are. It only changes the way we think we are. But inside, we are still the same person we always been. We are so smart that we lose contact with people around us. We use the technical skills that we learned throughout our whole entire years of learning things, and we try to use it on every single person that we actually come across. But it doesn't necessarily work when you use it on someone else, because the people know you're using it against them. It's time for us to be real. It's time for us to be sincere. It's time for us to be held accountable for our thoughts, our feelings, and the way we are. It's time for us to... My. What a wonderful message on how we should be held accountable for our actions, held accountable for our thoughts, and also held accountable for our feelings. I want to thank each and every one of you for tuning in to this live telebroadcast show this evening. And I also want to give a special thank you to a very powerful woman of God, Talia Pitts from upstate New York, for her support and her continuous encouragement. I want to say thank you very much, woman of God. You really encouraged my soul with the little few words you said to me. I want to thank you very much, and that's from my heart. As the message said, we should be held accountable for our actions. We should be held accountable for our feelings and also held accountable for our thoughts. All the time. Not sometimes, but all the time. And the more we get in contact with or in touch with who we are, that's how we'll be held accountable for the things that we do, because we'll know who we are. And quit trying to shift the blame. And for all of you that are listening right now, under the sound of my voice, I speak a divine, supernatural blessing over your whole entire week. And may God continue to bless you throughout the days that you work and your travels as you go from and to work. And until next time, I want each and every one of you to have a wonderful day. And thank you again for listening.